everyone, and welcome to another video. Today I'm doing my September wrap-up. I read 8 books in September. I am also currently reading another one, and I forgot completely about another. The first book I read was The Ocean at the End of the Lane by Neil Gaiman. This book is really hard to explain, which is why I didn't do a review for it. But it's magical. It's really the only word I can use to describe it. So yeah, I gave this book, I think I gave it 5 out of 5 stars. And yeah, I definitely recommend that. The second book I read was The Little Prince. I did read the pop-up version of this, but it's really big and hard to get out, so I'm just showing you this one. This is a quick little read. It's got a very good message about growing up and creativity and stuff like that. So this one I also gave 5 out of 5 stars, and I recommend that as well. Book number 3 was Penguins with People Problems. This is just a short little picture book about penguins. This took me practically no time at all. I just sort of picked it up while I was reorganizing my bookcase and did that. It's really funny, definitely recommend it. 5 out of 5 stars. Book 4 for this month was Super Mutant Magic Academy by Gillian Tamaki. This book is hilarious. It's a graphic novel told in a series of comic strips. It's great. I think any student will relate to it. It's got themes about sexuality and friendship and the meaning of life. It's just perfect, and you should get it in your life. Right. 5th book for September was Station 11 by Emily St. John Mandel. I'm not going to go on about this book too much because I have done a review for it, and I'll link that down below. But this book was really well written, but I think I only gave it 4.5 out of 5. There were some things that I had an issue with, and I wanted more. But as I said, I'll link my review down below so you can see what I think about this book. Book number 6 was Am I Normal Yet by Holly Bourne, and oh my god, this is my favourite book of the year so far, and will probably stay my favourite book of the year. This book is about Evie, and she has generalised anxiety disorder and OCD, and she wants to come off her medication, but she falls into a relapse, and she also wants to make new friends at a new college. It's a really good look at her life and how everything's falling down around her, and you get to sort of see that she's going into a relapse, but she doesn't admit it to herself, and it's got such a good conclusion, and this book is absolutely fantastic. There's lots of feminist themes, and it's a very accurate portrayal of anxiety and OCD. I've read, I don't experience those myself, so I can't say from personal experience, but I have read that it's an accurate representation, and Holly Bourne did do her research for this as well. So this book I gave 5 out of 5 stars, and I would definitely recommend picking it up. Next off, I finally finished Une si longue lettre by Mariam Abba. I gave up on the French and read the English version. I finished it after my test, which probably wasn't the best idea, but it was actually really quite good. I didn't rate it on Goodreads yet, but I am going to give it 4 out of 5 stars. It's an epistolary novel, so it's written from the point of view of Ramatoulaye, and she's writing to her best friend after Ramatoullaye's husband has died of a heart attack, and it's by a Senegalese writer, so it's got themes like the African woman's place in society and polygamy, and it's not the type of book I'd read for fun, but I did really enjoy this book, to my surprise. So 4 out of 5 stars, and the English version is called So Long a Letter if you want to pick that up. The last book that I finished this month was Working Stiff by Judy Melinek. This book was my non-fiction pick for the month, and it's about Judy's time training as a forensic pathologist or medical examiner in New York City. This book was good, but there were some problems I had. I don't think Judy's objective enough when she talks about suicide in her writing. Some of the stuff was a little bit gruesome, and I know it's a book about being a medical examiner. Most of it I was fine with, but there were some points where I was like, did you really need to share that with the world? And so yeah, so I gave this book 4 out of 5 stars, and for a non-fiction, I actually really enjoyed it. So there we go. The book that I am currently reading right this moment is American Gods by Neil Gaiman. I have owned this book since 2011, and I have been trying to read it since 2011, but I haven't gotten very far. And actually, I'm listening to this on audiobook, so when I have free time, so if I'm working late, I'll listen to it, or if I'm driving, I'll listen to it. And I've got the full cast audiobook version, which is the same text as this, is the unabridged text. And I'm not a big fan of audiobooks, but this full cast version of American Gods is just fantastic, and I would definitely recommend it. I'm 41% of the way through. Whenever I finish listening to it, I will find what page I'm up to, and I'll bookmark it. So I know where I'm at if I actually want to sit down and read it, but I think I'm going to keep listening to the audiobook because it's really good, and I will finish it hopefully in October, and I'll let you know what I think of it in my October wrap up, but I am really enjoying it so far, and I'm almost up to where I was in 2011 when I finished reading it, so I'm very proud of that, and yeah, you'll see this again in October. Now for the book that I'm casting aside and saying I'm never gonna ever read this book, and that is Kimberly's Capital Punishment. I got further than I was last time I mentioned this book, but not that much further. I got up to page 77 and decided that I would throw in the towel. This book is terrible. Kimberly is the worst person ever on the history of Earth, and I just, I hate her. I hate her, and it's not even like, Kimberly is not a villain that you love to hate. Kimberly is a villain that you just despise. Villain that you love to hate? Umbridge, or Loki, or Lavanna in the Lunar Chronicles. Kimberly is just despicable. Where I got up to, she's turning over a new leaf. She's gonna be altruistic. And while she's doing this, she's describing a charity worker as an it. I don't even know if this charity worker is male or female. It doesn't matter, but, you know, it. Who? I hate Kimberly, I hate this book, and I am casting it aside. I am DNFing this book. That's it for today's video. I will be back on Friday with my October TBR, and I hope you have a lovely day. Make sure you check me out on Goodreads and Twitter and Instagram down there or down in the box below, and I will see you next time. Bye!